Hi everybody, Charlotte here from Not to Shower by Charlotte in the UK, and welcome to my short little video series walking you through all the amazing colours in the Fusion Mineral Paint range. And today we're going to be walking through the metallics. Look at this amazing selection of metallics. You've got a lot of choice there, and I have some favourites amongst this which I will disclose as I'm going through them. But before we move on to that, I'll start all of my colour videos just explaining a couple of things about selecting your colours. Now, first of all, you've got to select your colour in the room that you're going to be using that colour, because you will have different levels of light. You'll have natural light or artificial light, different bulbs that might cast a blue or a yellow tone over your pieces of furniture. And so it's really important to select your colour in that room, because they will look different in your light than they will in store, in the street, anywhere else in other people's homes, etc. Because your light is specific to you. So yeah, make sure you choose your colours in the right room. And then also, hopefully this video will really help you to understand the different colours, and I'll give you some tips and walk you through the differences between them. But as well as that, Fusion Mineral Paint have put together some other ways to help you select the right colour for you. One of which is tester pots. Now, this isn't a metallic shade, but all of our metallic shades come in 37mm testers, this size, which most people will be using most people will be using metallic shades for accents and things. So a tester will be all you need. It will go miles and miles and miles. But the metallics also come in 250ml jars if you have a larger project in mind, if you need a little bit more paint. So that is a great way to test your colour at home in the light. As well as that, Fusion Mineral Paint have amazing true to colour colour cards they have the actual metallic finish, so the swatches on the colour card show you what the paint will look like dry. So the actual correct finish, shimmer, metallic sheen, the correct colours, it's perfect. It'll show you exactly what the paint is going to be like when it's dry, which is really, really useful. And then in addition to that, we also have the Fusion Fendex. Sorry, I've just dropped something. And the front of the fan deck shows all of the colours in the range. The back of the fan deck shows 50 recipes to create additional colours to expand your repertoire. And then this little section in the middle has all your metallic shades. So you can use this to choose the right shade for you, and you get all of these extra colours included in it. These fan decks are brilliant because you can move them about. You can say like, oh, what does copper look like next to, trying to do it backwards and I couldn't. What does it look like next to azure? Oh, azure's a bit bright for me. Let's get rid of azure and try run through blue. Oh, that's more the colour I had in mind. Put it next to your walls, your soft furnishings, and match them. It's really, really useful. Amazing tool. I love my fan deck. They're a little bit dog-eared because I use them constantly, day in, day out. So that shows you how much I love them. So now I've introduced you to the best way to choose your colour and the ways that Fusion Mineral Paint have put to help you. Shall we talk through the range? Now, you heard me go oops a minute ago, dropped one, so let's just pick that up. So here we have some lovely pearls and champagnes and soft colours through to rose gold, coppers, bronze, silvers and golds. So first of all, we have gold. Traditional, very yellow gold. Look at the lustre on that. I'm trying to get the light to catch it, trying to get it to show on the video. Look at the lustre of that sheen there. If you're looking for a very traditional, bright gold, then gold is the one for you. It's also worth mentioning that you can intermix these together. So if you wanted to, that's a little bit bright for you, you wanted to make it a little bit softer, mix it with one of these shades down here. Not a problem. You can custom mix your own metallic shades. Then we have two cool metallics to choose from. Put that down. We have silver and we have brushed steel. So your silver is very bright, very pale, proper, true, traditional silver. And then if you want something a bit deeper, a bit slightly more oily, trying to get the light to catch it, your brushed steel is a bit darker there. I love this brushed steel colour. It's really, really beautiful. So they are your two cool metallic shades that you have to choose from. And now what do we have here? Which end should we start from? Let's start from the pale. So here we have Pearl, which is a soft, sort of creamy, pearly shade with your lovely metallic shimmer. And let me explain how these are so shimmery and how they are metallic is because they have micropigments in them, and that is what is reflective and what catches the light and gives it the lovely twinkle, which you'll see much better in person than you can on this naff video. But yeah, I don't know if that shows you a little bit. So pearl is our palest, and then we move on to champagne. This next one here is champagne, which is a tiny bit deeper, and you'll see that it has sort of slightly pinker undertones. So if you're looking for your project needs a metallic that is very slightly pink, then there it is. And that has made me think of something that I should mention, that metallic paints are all going to be a tiny bit more sheer than the Fusion Mineral Paint range that you see behind me. They're a little bit more sheer. So if you want this exact shade, you're going to need to build up a couple of coats to get this exact shade. But if you're just looking for that slight shimmer, you can mix these into our glazes to make a metallic glaze, or you can apply them just as an accent over a base colour, and that base colour will show through very slightly. So for example, if you want this to look a little bit more pink, you can put a pink shade underneath it, put this as a shimmer coat on top, and that pink, because it's very slightly translucent in just one coat, that pink will show through and you can tint it in that way. So that's what's amazing about Fusion. It's so versatile, so customizable. You can do whatever you want. If you can imagine it, you can create it with Fusion Mineral Paint, which is really cool. And if you don't know, if you can imagine it and you don't know how to create it, then that's what I'm here for. Message me, call me, pop in to see me. That's what I'm here to help. And I will be able to walk you through how to achieve the results that you're looking for. So there we go. And then we move on to Champagne Gold, which is a similar kind of tone, as in it's a bit darker than the pearl, but not as dark as these ones up here. But you can see it's more yellow in tone, so that's why it's called Champagne Gold. It's leaning towards the gold, but it is obviously a lot softer than the gold we looked at originally, the true gold. It's a lot more subtle. So if that's what you're after, Champagne Gold is the one for you. And then if you'd like to go just a little bit darker again, we've got Vintage Gold, which is a bit browner. Vintage Gold is a lovely shade. It's just a lovely soft sort of taupey colour, but with the metallic shimmer to it. So you've got Vintage Gold there. And then next up, we've got Rose Gold and Copper. So these are your two sort of pink toned, orange toned metallics in the range. So Rose Gold, we all know what Rose Gold is. It's beautiful rose gold shade, very pale, very soft, very subtle. And then Copper is leaning slightly more towards the orange tones. Now I'm going to take those two out for a moment and move them to the edge, just to put bronze next to the Vintage Gold. Because bronze is my favourite. It is the one that I use the most. I use this on hardware, on accents, on handles, on feet, on detailing around Art Deco cupboards. I love this shade. It's really deep and rich and oily, bronzy, just blooming gorgeous. And you can see how that is just so much more saturated than any of these other colours. They're very sort of soft and muted and pale, whereas the bronze is really deep. Really deep. And actually talking about using that on hardware has reminded me of something else that I should tell you. What I love to do is, if you're doing something Art Deco, you do it a taped design or whatever, then you want your colours nice and flat, beautiful. But when I'm painting hardware, I don't want it to look flat. I want it to look like real metal. So what I will do is, after I've allowed my metallic paint to really truly dry, please hold, let me grab something. I will use the Fusion Mineral Paint Stain and Finishing Oil as a bit of a glaze over the top. And what it will do is it will sit in those crevices of my hinges, of my handles or whatever. It will accent all those lovely details, and it will just give it a slight variation of colour, like real metal will have as it tarnishes and ages over time. And using that as a top coat will give you a little bit of extra protection. It's oil based, so it has a little bit of a sheen, so it won't dull your metallic. And I just think it adds that extra depth to your hardware and makes it really cool. So I didn't intend to talk about that, but it is just a really interesting thing to talk about. And that's also reminded me to say, what makes these metallic is the micropigments in them, the sparkles in them. So if you are intending to top coat over it, if you put a matte top coat over your metallic, you will mattify it and it won't look metallic anymore. It'll still be these beautiful colours, but it won't be sparkly because the mattifying particles of your matte top coat will prevent the light from catching on the mica and twinkling and being sparkly. So if you want to top coat over a metallic paint, you're going to need to use a semi-gloss, a sauce, a gloss, a satin at worst, to make sure you've got a little bit of sheen. You need to go for the sheen that works for you, otherwise you're going to dullify your metallic sheen. So that is a top tip. Thank you for watching. I hope you find that helpful, and please share your metallic projects with me. Please enjoy them, and don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions. Lots of love, painters. Happy painting. Bye.